Well, we started out with a few clouds across central and eastern Kentucky, some showers down south. Sun has returned and dry across much of the area, which of course is good news as the cleanup continues from the devastating tornado across southern Kentucky late Friday night and into early Saturday. Unfortunately, Tuesday is another weather impact day as we're looking at more severe weather potential with everything on the table yet again. It's that time of the year. Now, once that system gets out of here, cooler air heading our way toward the upcoming Memorial Day weekend. Looking at the radar and satellite, you see those showers kind of diving to the southeast early this morning. Just a few sprinkles there in the London-Somerset area. That frontal boundary stalled out to our south, working back to the north as a warm front. So these areas, southeast Missouri, West Tennessee, in that warmer sector, beginning to see a few storms develop. We're looking good across the area right now. Mount Sterling, Montgomery County, nice and sunny and warm. 77. I think it's going to be a really nice evening across much of the area. A few little scattered clouds there in Jackson County near McKee at the Mesonet site, but upper 70s there. 79 Lexington, 82 from Richmond to Mount Vernon. Somerset at 79. 80 in Monticello. Now, the biggest difference will be the comfort level. Notice how low these dew points are. Anything below 60, fairly dry this time of the year. That's along 64 out to the east. Meanwhile, you get down here into southern Kentucky, mid-upper 60s to around 70. That's kind of feeling more like summer, so it'll be a little bit muggy down to the south. And I think the position of that front beginning to work to the north, with that moisture riding up and over it, that has something to do with it. Eastern Oklahoma and Kansas in line for a decent severe weather outbreak tonight, unfortunately, and that area of low pressure is going to press eastward along with the trailing cold front, and that's going to put us in line for another weather impact day for Tuesday, especially the afternoon and evening hours. All of central and eastern Kentucky could see some stronger storms, everything on the table, including some flash flooding. Don't forget about that. Of course, we had to increase it a bit to the weather impact day, given the fact that the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center pushed that level 3 risk basically into a good chunk of south central southern Kentucky. In fact, all the way up to the southern part of the metro area down south. Unfortunately, London and Somerset included there, level 2 down 64 and out into eastern Kentucky. And as far as the elevated tornado risk, it does go as far northeast as London, Somerset, Williamsburg, so something to keep an eye on. It looks like the most favorable area may stay down to our south toward the Music City, but nevertheless, one of those days to stay weather aware. Yet again, we've got the wind threat being a little bit higher across our southern Kentucky counties, and I think that's due to the expected squall line. It should eventually kind of congeal together later on tomorrow afternoon. Looks pretty good this evening. Overnight, our in-house data not showing a whole lot in the morning. It's better to have more than not because that slows the recovery down as far as the atmosphere for the afternoon and evening round expected. As always, watching those isolated cells out on their own. Those are the ones that can be a bit problematic. There's your squall line of storms. That's when we up our damaging wind threat to go along with a little spin up, more typical of what we see with our severe weather events. One thing to remind you of, no weather radio here in the Lexington area, the Louisville's responsibility, their county warning area, Lexington, Nicholasville, Richmond down to Campbellsville. They're doing an upgrade that they couldn't avoid, so the weather radios will not be working tomorrow, so you need to have another way to get those advisories. Of course, stay with us here on ABC 36. Download our weather app. Of course, have those emergency alerts on your wireless phone, on and audible. And of course, with the rain threat, could see some localized flooding issues getting into late tomorrow into the early hours of Wednesday. Mostly cloudy later on. Looks good this evening. Some storms moving in toward daybreak. Should begin to weaken out, but then we'll recover into the afternoon, so occasional storms. A few strong to severe late, so keep it right here for that weather impact day. Big story at the end of the week. How about mid to upper 60s with a few showers left over, so cooler air around, relatively speaking, heading into Memorial Day weekend. A lot of the weekend dry, although the actual holiday could feature some showers with highs right around 70.